Only 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Hello and welcome to In the Armchair. Today we're going to be looking at a film called The Second. Before we get into that, please don't forget to like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It really helps me out on YouTube. So I'm sitting at home, browsing through my Netflix, looking for something to watch. This film pops up as number 6 in the UK. I thought, okay, why not? Let's give it a go. This film was funny. This film stars Ryan Phillippe, who I haven't actually seen any of his movies, but I've been told in the past that he's a decent actor, and Casper Van Diem, who I haven't seen since Starship Troopers. That is one of my favourite movies of all time, and I'm like, why have I not seen this guy in any other movies? So I was glad to see his face here. The plot is very simple. A Delta Force officer is late picking up his son at college. His son and a Supreme Court Justice's daughter are the last 2 people there, and you've got a gang of terrorists who are actually trying to abduct her to change her dad's hand on the Second Amendment vote. Obviously from my accent you could tell that I'm British, so we don't have the right to bear arms in this country, so we're not going to get into the politics of that here. But what I will say is I don't agree with it. Within the first 3 minutes I knew we were in bad film territory. The dialogue was horrible. It didn't resemble anything like a real life conversation. The way the first shootout was shot, I was completely lost. I didn't know where the shots were coming from, who was shooting at who. I could not follow the action. The lighting was bad, but just the way the scene was edited with very quick takes, I just thought to myself, Netflix, here we go again. This is the definition of a B movie. This is the sort of movie that will go straight to DVD. This would not come out in the cinema. So Netflix is providing a home for these sort of films, but don't expect anything amazing from this. It was complete with a loud rock soundtrack that just felt so cliche. And you can see where this film is going instantly. It's a very straightforward plot. Ryan Phillippe needs to save his son and his son's love interest. If you've seen any movie like Olympus Has Fallen, White House Down, Die Hard, you've seen it before, except there was nothing added to the genre in any way. It reminded me in some ways of Rambo that I watched earlier this year, but I actually enjoyed that movie. After 30 minutes, I was actually done. I was like, I cannot watch this movie anymore. It's that bad. Then, once it started progressing a bit further, I actually started to get into it. I actually started to enjoy it for what it was. They utilized every cliche under the book. They used cheesy one-liners. There's a scene where he's fighting a bad guy in the gym and he says, "This is my weight room, bitch." And it's bad, but it's funny. It made me laugh. This is the sort of film you're not meant to take so seriously. If you do, you're going to give it 1 star. You're going to write it off completely. But as I said, I went along for the ride. It also had over-the-top explosions, people being set on fire, shootouts that don't make sense. Somehow he's got a gun with 200 bullets. Just think of any action movie from the late 80s, early 90s, but on a much lower budget. The ending was equally as ridiculous as the whole film, but I wouldn't expect anything less. It knew what it was. Ryan Phillippe tried to do his best Gerard Butler / John McClane performance, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. Casper Van Dien has not aged one bit. His face hasn't changed. There's not much else to say really. Overall, the plot was standard, it was predictable, it was silly. The dialogue was so bad, it was laughable at times. This is literally one of those films that is so bad, it's good. They know what they are and they're not to be taken seriously. If you've got a spare 9 minutes that you actually want to laugh at how bad something is, this is the film for you. I did get some entertainment out of it, so I'm going to give it 2 stars. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and watch some other videos.